5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dude, that singing was pretty good. That singing was really good.
Welcome to episode
42. Oh, this is a big
43.
This is a big episode.
Episode 43.
42. Oh, 43.
You're an idiot.
Last episode was a big episode.
Not really.
42 is your favorite number.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Just because of like lame, nerdy, stupid shit.
Stupid ass shit.
What is it? The
Hitchhiker's
Guide to the Galaxy.
No, it's not even nerdy for you. It was just like immature stuff to you because like we talked about something the other day. Too,
we gotta get lights again.
Where you Googled shit, and I feel like you just Googled one day, what's the answer to the
I don't remember what it was.
What's the answer to whatever, to life?
Yeah, what's the meaning of life? And it's like 42. And it's from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I think where we actually got it from, me and Tyler Voss, was that we played the game Spore. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that game where you make
I've heard of the game.
You just make a little creature and you grow it from the
that game is
amoebic
like Half-Life,
stage
right?
all the way to space stage, right?
Is it on Steam?
Yeah, you can buy it on Steam. It was made by the people who made The Sims. People thought it was gonna be just like a crazy, expansive, like very in-depth game, and it ended up being a lot more simplistic than people wanted it. But when you get to
people talked about it
when you
right?
are in the space stage and you get to the center of the galaxy, and go into the universe, you get the achievement 42. It says meaning of life, and then that's how we started talking about it. Became my football number.
Yeah, well, and it like got thrown in. If it wasn't 69, it was 42.
Yeah,
like,
my teacher,
T-Boss does the same thing too.
My computer science teacher. Because I played football, right? I wore my 42 jersey Fridays before you'd play games. I didn't play on the team.
Yeah,
but
you were on the team.
He asked me, he's like, "Why did you pick that number as your number?" Because he's a fucking dork too.
Yeah.
And I said, "It's the exact reason why you think I picked it." And he was like, "I like that answer." And
which teacher was this?
Mr. King.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Because he's
like, he would get the reference.
But he probably got it from the actual movie.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I've watched that movie.
It
was
good?
like very meh.
I didn't think it was that
right.
good either.
It was all right.
But that's like a cult movie. Everybody likes it.
Yeah, it's called classic. And like, I mean, that just like answered to the meaning.
Yeah, that's just
universe.
like in.
Yeah, it's just in there. And it's like, all right.
It's like a British movie, right?
Yeah, kind of.
I don't really know. I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, I don't remember it that great either. I just remember like them like get into this robot, and then they're like, they had one question. They're like, "What's the meaning to the universe?"
I was just about to go last time
42.
on the monologue pot, like last time, kind of like on Dragon Ball Z. I think that guy just died.
Really?
Who does that? Like last time on Dragon Ball Z.
You know what the issue with people dying? They're voice actors now, though.
You don't know what they look like.
One, you don't know what they look like, and like people are so good at imitating nowadays.
Oh yeah,
that they can just seamlessly just change them out.
Chewbacca,
which is shitty, but it's like, that's just how replaceable those people are. Mm-hmm. Because you're never. I mean, somebody from Toy Story died too, right? And they just like
the guy who played Woody, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks was dead,
and then his brother just plays.
And then what is his name? Jeff
Hanks,
or it's Tom Hanks, and it's something stupid. It's like
Tim Hanks.
Tim Hanks. Yeah,
is it?
I think it's something dumb. I kind of want to look it up now.
It's just a terrible.
He does like all of it for
because Tom Hanks is way too famous.
Yeah,
Tim Hanks has made a career off of just being the voice actor for Woody on like video games or like toys or cartoon shows.
And you got to think how often
anything that Tom Hanks just was like, that's not for me, give to my brother.
Because the whole selling point of Woody is that pull string on his back.
Yeah.
So whenever they make a toy,
yeah.
So you don't think how this guy's got a whole career off of his brother.
Yeah.
Literally just off of his brother.
That's actually a lot of famous people.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but like,
I mean, think of all the Hemsworth brothers. They have a third brother that basically has a career because of the other two.
Oh, it's Jim Hanks.
Jim Hanks?
Yeah, Jim Hanks. And he looks just like him.
And he sounds like him.
Yeah, and sounds just like him.
A little bit.
Literally looks just like him. Just a bald version of him. Like, and I realized
you know how crazy Tom Hanks of an actor is? He's been in so many hit movies since like the 80s. It's just crushed it from nonstop. I was talking to my girlfriend. I mentioned to her that he was Woody. She didn't even realize that he's like in that as well.
Really?
Yeah. Forrest Gump.
He's made nonstop bangers. Catch Me If You Can, one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. Granted, Leo cranks that movie.
12 Years a Slave.
Is he in that movie?
No.
He's Sully. Dude, he's Sully.
Yeah.
Dude, he can
Big.
fly airplanes.
Big. You know when he plays the piano on like the big piano with his feet?
Yeah.
It's when he's a kid.
Yeah.
And he goes to the Zorro machine.
That's an old movie.
And he's like, I want to make me big. And he becomes Tom Hanks.
What else?
That's crazy that the kid became older and famous.
He was in Citizen Kane, I think.
Citizen Kane?
Yeah.
He's
a cranker. But I figured out about Jim Hanks.
He plays in The Godfather.
Yeah, he does. That movie fucking sucks, so who cares?
Next.
But yeah, I figured out about Jim Hanks through playing Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is like a movie that I like a lot. Jesus. Kingdom Hearts is a movie that I like a lot. Or a game that I like a lot. And through the end credit scenes, they put Jim Hanks in there. I was like, what the fuck? What is this? And I looked it up because I always like the voice acting in it. And
you can't even know. You wouldn't even notice it.
No, it literally sounds just like him.
Yeah.
God damn. I've been trying to get you to take that jacket off. Did you get that while we were at lunch today?
No.
When did that happen?
This happened 3 days ago. I've been wearing this shirt nonstop.
You just like it a lot? Did you actually get it at lunch today?
No, I woke up and I spilled coffee on myself.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna hide this.
I would have pointed that out right away. Yeah, I saw it at lunch, and I was like, "Hey, did you?" And you were like, "You zipped up right away," and I was like, "Oh, he's embarrassed," but you clearly didn't give a fuck.
No.
Yeah.
So the reason why I was like last time on Dragon Ball Z, the last time we were on this podcast, the Packers were about to go to the Super Bowl and win it all.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't, and now I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
It's crazy that we made a shitty episode, and it was solely because of us.
Last week?
Yeah. Every single episode that's shitty, which is all of our episodes, are shitty because of us. But last week was the shittiest episode.
Why did you not like last week?
There's too much you in it.
Yeah, that's what people want.
No. See, I think we can have your voice in the podcast, but I think that like the video should be like just directly on me.
I don't think so.
Why?
I was getting a lot of critiques this past weekend about the podcast.
Yeah? What'd you get?
Less you. That's really it.
Here's the thing. How many people told you that?
Most. Everyone. Every person who told me.
Every person. How many people was that?
How many do you think?
I don't know, like 20?
Yeah.
It was 20 people? 20. That's crazy because I had like 40 people tell me that they needed less you in it. So I pretty much had double the amount of people tell me less you.
When you said how many people,
yeah.
In your head you go, it doesn't matter what he says, I'm just going to double it.
Yes, of course.
It's just going to be doubled.
Well, no.
100? Well, 200
No,
people.
I'm just going to name off the proper amount of people that told me that needs less you, which was double whatever told you needs less me.
Has anything happened to you in the past week that's been very important, relevant, or worth talking about?
No. My life. I've been playing just World of Warcraft, not leaving my house. It snowed.
Mm-hmm.
I did get a story brought up. Shout out to our girl HF.
Okay.
We'll just call her Haley Feeling. Who cares?
Yeah.
She texted me about a story that I hadn't thought about in a while. But it was really funny to me.
Before you go on the story, she called me after she texted it to you, and she's like, "Does James hate me?"
No.
And I said, "What?" And she said, "I texted him this story, and he didn't reply to me at all."
No, I did.
You did.
It was just I was playing World of Warcraft.
How long did it take?
I don't know, maybe hours.
Hours? Couple hours?
Well, I was in a trance. I was playing. If I'm playing World of Warcraft, it's hard to get a hold of me. It's hard, like really hard. Or I might have been streaming. One of the two. But yeah, I ended up texting her back. But it's one of my. I really like the story. I didn't realize how goofy it was until I told it to somebody else, and she was like saying that she told it to somebody, and it made people laugh.
When we were in a hotel room with like 7 people.
It was a pretty big hotel room, but it was still
6,
pretty
7.
cramped.
Yeah.
And
there was toenails all over the floor.
So let me preface this. So I ripped my toenails off because I can never find the big clippers. So like the clippers for your toenails. I can only find the clippers for your fingernails. But who clips their fingernails? You just bite those. That's easy. Right. I mean, I can't. I'm not flexible enough anymore to bite my toenails. Yeah. Which I used to do all the time.
I use the smaller clippers on my toenails.
I do sometimes, but I prefer to just rip them off.
Okay.
Like right after a shower, they're soft.
Anyways.
And you rip them off. And I do that, so that's my thing. If I was more flexible, I'd bite them off and I would just chew them, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I do that, but I'm not flexible enough. I used to be able to. When we'd have company over, like when I was like 5 or 6, I'd just sit on the couch just biting on my toenails, like middle of Christmas.
Yeah, you're a fucking freak.
No fucks given. No, I'm a savage.
Yeah.
Savage. Like a gorilla. Alpha male.
That's not where the end of the story goes. Don't just end like that. No, I'm a gorilla.
Yeah. So we
that wasn't like a go ahead, your turn.
No, you're supposed to go, yeah, you are a gorilla. You are the alpha.
Anyways.
And when we went to South Carolina, I decided, oh man, my toenails are too long to go to the beach, to go swimming, etc., etc. I need to clip these puppies down. No clippers. Got to rip them off. And I was like, garbage can's real far away. We just pluck, rip, throw, pluck,
Who
rip, throw.
discovered the toenails initially? Yeah.
Michael goes, ugh. Who left this big? He must have found my big toenail.
Yeah.
Because that was just on the ground. And he goes, who left this big toenail here? He goes, oh, there's more everywhere. And I'm like already drunk a little bit. So I'm like, oh, that's disgusting, man. I'm like, oh, are you serious? Who the fuck would do that and just leave them there? Really? And he goes, yeah, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, that's just disgusting. Whatever. That's fucking gross. And I tried alluding away from it, bringing up other stories. Yeah. He's like, no, we're going to figure this out. And he was really persistent. Because Mike's a person that likes to get to the bottom of things.
Okay.
And he's like, we need to figure out who did this. And I was like, you're right, man. We do. And I
got your back, bro.
And I'm like, I need to help Mike find who did this. And also make sure that he doesn't think that it's me, because then he'll find out really quickly it's me, and I'll buckle quick. Mike could make me buckle in a heartbeat. Yeah. Like, no, he just gives me the eyes. And
but he wasn't on your trail.
No, not at all, because I was with him. I said, that is fucking gross.
You're right. Let's get to the investigation.
And you were too calm about it. So I go, dude, this guy's way too calm. Look at him. So I go up to you and I rip your shoe off and your sock, and you're like, no, and you're fighting it. So it kind of seemed like it was you, but it was just you being goofy.
And then you just start matching.
And I took the toenail, and I'm picking up this toenail that's supposed to be a random person's toenail and putting it down. Trying to match
it's gotta be him.
I put it to your toe.
If
I was
the
like,
shoe fits.
I was like, this kind of looks like it, and everybody was like, no, like his toenails are fine. I start putting it up to everybody's, like Haley's, Sydney, all of them, like Trevor, fucking didn't matter. I was putting this toenail up to their fucking toe, grabbing their feet, grabbing this toenail that's supposed to be not mine, and then you go, wait, why are you just touching the toenail so willy-nilly? That's disgusting. I go, I mean, I'm just going to wash my hands afterwards. And he was like, is that your toenail? Nobody checked you. And I was like, no. And finally, you guys were all like, take your socks off. I took them off and matched up perfectly to my toe.
I honestly just thought you found your own toenails and started the investigation for a crime you committed.
So did you know from the start that it was me?
I don't know. I don't remember.
You can't think back that far.
No, I don't remember. I just remember the end of it where
I think that you were too drunk to like throw it on me right away, because the first time that I would have tried to blame you, a normal you would immediately, no, it's you. But I think that because you were drunk, you were like, oh no, it might have been me.
It was me. That makes me think of, I don't know if we've ever talked about who shit in the camper story.
Oh, I don't think so.
Which is another investigation where we had a group of friends, let's say 20, right?
20 friends. It was an Airbnb. We
all went to an Airbnb, and someone, I think it was Michael again. He's always
I told you. No, he tries to get to the bottom of things.
He's always on the investigation.
Real quick tangent about Michael getting to the bottom of things. Yeah. One of our friends who likes to lie a lot. Tried to.
No, not. Oh, yeah, right. Not Michael.
Try. I mean, that guy's also a liar.
Anyways.
Yeah, but Michael was trying to get to the bottom of everything. But also this week we were lied to by one of our friends who's a habitual liar, loves to lie, texts our group chat some just like bullshit. Clearly like 6 people responded out of the 10 people, just like clearly giving them like some BS, like, hey, yeah, sure, man, pretty much. And he texted me, he was like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. He was like, have you ever seen Don't Fuck with Cats? And I was like, no, I haven't. And he told me.
What? Everybody keeps telling me to watch that on Netflix.
I guess it's about like this Facebook video that was made about like a cat being tortured, and like these Redditors and shit just like got to the bottom of it and did like this investigation.
Yeah.
To find
found the girl, right? Is it a girl?
Found whoever did it. I don't know. I have no idea about the show at all. He just brought that up, and he was like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I'm going to figure out about this girl that this guy that's lying is talking about. I'm going to figure out everything. And I was like, somebody's got to.
Yeah.
This guy just loves to get to the bottom of things.
Right. So he's constantly at the front. He's the front runner trying to investigate.
Yep.
So he finds that there is shit stained on the wall.
Not only that, there's like a turd on the bottom of the wall and like a streak of shit on the wall.
Yeah. Somebody clearly shit themselves, tried to clean themselves off really quickly, but did a terrible job. Right?
Yeah. See, what confuses me, right? So this had a stain on the wall, right? Mm-hmm. And then a poop on the ground. But it was the laundry room. Did somebody shit on the wall?
We don't know.
Is that how it happened?
I wish. Did we take pictures? Because if we took pictures, we can investigate the pictures.
We should have investigated more. But, or did somebody just take their pants and throw it? And
we had two prime suspects. One, we mentioned Haley Fueling. She's our number one suspect.
Yeah.
Well,
she doesn't like being the prime suspect either.
She was a prime suspect, and the other habitual liar, who, if anybody's been listening to this podcast, we talk about
the time traveling liar.
We talk about him pretty regularly about how he's constantly telling fibs.
So we found out that he was a time traveler.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy traveled back in time, shit on that wall, came back in time, but he did it and left the poop at a time where she was in there. So his time traveling, he ended up actually framing her to make it look like she pooped. But in reality, he did the poop. And because he's always loved her, he is trying to win her over.
Great theory. I have another one.
Okay.
He shit on the wall and lied about it. That's my theory.
Or the time traveling thing. That guy is a time traveler.
We'll keep that in the back pocket. We'll bring it out if my theory doesn't play out.
100%. Who knows? But there was a point where that was also, we were trying to figure out who pooped. A person who doesn't like to fart, got blamed right away because I'm fat, chunky, and they're like, oh, I mean, one of the fat people had to have done it.
Tangent. Our friend Nicholas messaged me. He said it like a quote. He said, "You looked like a melted ice cream cone."
Yeah.
He said that was the favorite thing he's heard in a while.
That's really funny.
Me telling you that.
Yeah. But I do look like that.
A little bit.
Yeah. That's my look. Yeah. But it's what I'm also going for.
Is that a common insult? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I've
never been called it, but I do.
It was just me looking at your body, and I was
but also, I think that it's also what I've been kind of going for.
Is melted ice cream?
Yeah.
Because you look like a little bit sturdy, but like it's starting to
and sweet.
Well, don't go crazy.
But you know.
So yes, you got blamed. So I
got blamed right away.
You were like, okay, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
And you wanted to look at everybody's assholes.
Me and Tyler B were like, well, there's only one way that we can figure it out. I was like, hey, I'm going to go first because I know that I didn't do it for sure. So come check me out, Tyler B.
So
I dropped my pants and I spread my cheeks like far.
Yeah.
Like you can see the whole like sphincter, like the starfish.
And you were cleared out.
And I was clear.
You were good.
I actually got an enema.
How many people did you line up to start doing that?
I got an enema right before that, so it was perfect timing for me. Because after I shit on that wall, I had to clean out my asshole.
Well, that's why we had a couple friends that were suspects, is because we saw the shit in their assholes.
Yes, yeah. We had like...
Stay right here.
I think we had 5 or 6 people drop their pants and show their assholes.
That I think I was sleeping at the time.
Yeah, you were sleeping at the time. Which another theory was, and I came up with the theory, was that I got too drunk, ended up picking you up. You, in like your drunken state, I made you shit the wall on the wall, and I put you back in the bed.
That was like a running theory?
Yeah.
What made the habitual liar and Haley are...
Haley was because she was like in there last.
Yeah.
But I think that she was just doing her laundry.
She was just like guilty by association. So she just happens to be.
The other one had walked... We had the kitchen and living room area, and then through that laundry area was like the outside patio / like hot tub area. And he was in the hot tub and had gone in and out of the hot tub a few times, and clearly would have had to. He
probably shit in the hot tub too.
Yeah, probably. And he clearly would have had to have changed his pants a few times.
So he was just like up there as prime.
See, but now that I'm thinking,
our friend Michael wanted us to on the podcast do like a an investigation of it.
Of
like
the
it's
poop?
because back in November it had been like a year or two.
Yeah.
It had been like an anniversary. So he was like, well, why don't we bring in the culprits, interview them,
Bring them
get
in
to
one
the
by
bottom.
one.
Yeah.
Hey, now your turn. I'd like that. We just don't have enough evidence anymore.
I know.
The issue is, right, now that I'm thinking about it, and it was something that never even crossed my mind, is that it could have been anybody, because what if it was just a poop in somebody's clothes?
What if somebody just took a shit?
Like, what if somebody shit their pants, right? And then they threw their pants in the laundry room.
Yeah. And then they didn't even know?
And it just hit the wall.
Do,
Poop,
do, 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 do.
doop, doop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I never even thought about that. I'm pretty positive that's the best, like, explanation for it, because who shits on a wall?
You do.
I shit on walls.
Yeah, you have before.
But I didn't shit on that wall.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You learned your lesson.
Yeah, I learned my lesson.
I've only shit my pants one time.
I told this
Yeah,
guy, right?
yeah. So we'll skip it.
Yeah.
The one time I was playing Halo 2 in my friend's basement, or my cousin's basement by myself, and it was just like a, you fart, you mistime it, whoop.
You shit.
Just a little rock, right? I couldn't even tell. It wasn't like a smear kind of shit. It was just like a pebble, and then I pulled my pants down and blunk, and just fell into the toilet. And that's the only time I've shit my pants.
Huh. Yeah.
It's more common than people know.
People
do it all the time.
I will never fart in my pants. I mean, I do more often now. I do every now and then when I know for
Way
sure.
to be comfortable in your skin, bro.
I am. I'm learning, but I don't trust farts. So like, I legitimately will go to the bathroom sometimes just to fart in the toilet, and like, especially when we were in South Carolina. This must just be a Haley Feeling episode, but she likes farts a lot. It's one of her favorite.
It's her number one favorite.
It's her favorite pastimes is listening to farts. Yeah. So when we were in South Carolina, I kept on holding in my farts, and I would wait till like I was on the toilet.
Of anybody in my life, she's the only person who likes toilet humor as much as she likes it more than anybody else.
More than any person.
If you poop, she likes it.
Yeah. So
that's another reason why she was a culprit, is because of how much she likes poops.
Yeah. So but she doesn't like stinky farts.
No.
That'll piss her off.
If they stink.
But if they're loud, they make her laugh really hard.
Yeah.
So like
burps.
when I fart on the toilet, because I've been holding them in all day. They're like they're big ones.
Yeah.
So I'd always go, hey Haley, come check this out, and I'd
give it a listen.
I'd leave the door open, and I'd just and then I'd piss, and then
it doesn't make me laugh.
No
farts. I don't like it.
Yeah, it makes me laugh when she laughs really hard at them,
which she all the time,
every single time. But yeah, no, that the poop, we'll never know who did it. I mean, I think that we know who did it. Haley, it's
her.
It's most likely the liar.
Most likely.
That's what I'm thinking. Or like I said, maybe it's just like somebody else who shit their pants.
If we're gonna keep talking about our friend who lies a lot, It's crazy that every week it feels like there's a new thing, and when
that guy lives the craziest life in his
when
mind.
It was just a quiet, and again, I like this person.
Yeah, so do I.
When it's when things are just getting quiet, he just throws something into our group chat to stir things up. And this past week, he decides to say, "Hey, everybody! I finally have a sugar mama. She pays me $300 a week.
Yeah, a week.
That was his allowance." And our group chat, which has been kind of dead for the past months, decided to pop off, and everybody started to interrogate him on who is this person? Let's see pictures.
What's her social security number?
Give me all of her information. We need to find her.
What's her address?
I took the picture he sent of us. I reverse image searched it because I didn't believe it was a real picture. It was a real picture. I can find it anywhere on the internet. And for a guy who has an iPhone, he was using a free texting app in order to text her, which seems suspect to me.
Very suspect.
It doesn't seem like his answer for why he was using that app was he didn't want her to have his real number. Mm-hmm. But my theory is that somehow he was texting that texting app from his own number to that texting app, so he was just having a conversation with himself in order to get the messages.
Possibly.
That's my theory.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. These things might actually happen to him.
Maybe.
But I don't think they do. Maybe this happened in the past. I'm going back to the time traveling thing. Maybe he went back in time.
Yeah.
And he was texting a woman. Maybe that woman was rich.
Okay.
And
what does it have to do with teleporting and time traveling?
I don't know.
You just wanted to throw that in there?
Yeah, he might just be...
Think out your theories before you say things.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Well, because I don't think that time and space matters to him. Like, at all.
No. He's a fifth dimensional being.
Yes.
You know how me and you can only see in 3 dimensions?
Yes.
He can see in 5. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
Fourth is the
smell, sight, and this way.
No, 4D. The 4th dimension isn't smell. The 4th dimension is time.
Yeah.
5th dimension is traveling between time.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Huh.
Mm-hmm. Little fun fact. I don't know
because the 4th dimension plane and then traveling from one 4th dimensional plane to another
is that's the line.
That's the line.
It makes it the 5th dimension. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Good physics, dog.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. That sounds right though.
Maybe, who knows? But the guy is for sure a 5th dimensional being. If there is one, maybe even 8th. Who knows?
Maybe.
He can also smell. Don't forget about that dimension.
Which is it could be any dimension.
Crazy dimension. Do you remember that shit when that was being like oh, this isn't
4D is when they started smelling in the theaters.
Smelling and
the Rugrats movie back when you were young. They had like the Nickelodeon scratch and sniff things.
Yeah.
Where if you got if you went to Burger King and you got like it's not a Happy Meal but the kids meal.
Yeah.
It came with it. And then you would go to the movie, and then at the bottom of the screen, it would tell you what thing to scratch and sniff as the movie went on. That was my first experience with 4D.
You know what mine was? Disney World.
Okay.
There was this I think that Alien had just come out. I was 5 when I went. I don't know what.
Alien did not come out when you were 5. Alien came out in 1979.
One of the Alien movies. Some fucking alien.
Maybe
thing.
Alien versus Predator. I don't know.
Something to where we were like in a chamber. And what it did was it was like a horror thing.
Are you sure
it was
not
4D? And like this shit came out at you, and they like dripped like stuff on you, and they called it 4D.
Are you sure that's not Lilo and Stitch?
It was Lilo and Stitch.
It could be.
Yeah, they did say, what is it? Aloha is for family.
Yeah.
Family never splits apart or whatever.
You nailed that quote. Aloha is forever, and family never splits apart. Put it on a poster. That's a hit.
I got told this this week that
so you can write a movie like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at writing movies. Mainly, I get that almost every day. Mm-hmm. I'm not kidding.
Are you a scriptwriter?
Yeah. No,
I know.
You hang out with me too much. Like way too much because you hear what people say to me.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
No, he isn't, but he can do it. That's what I always say.
Yeah. I heard somebody told me, hey, you know that your voice kind of matches what you look like, but your laugh doesn't at all.
Because of the high pitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, your voice does match what you look like. It's like an ugly laugh, so I get it.
What? No, the laugh doesn't match me. So
sorry.
No, I'm pretty. Yeah, thanks, bro.
No problem.
Good looks.
You playing World of Warcraft earlier made me want to buy a new video game and play it. You want to play a new video game today?
Sure.
What do you want to play? Civilization 6? Mm-hmm.
Timeout. No, because Neil's been playing that, and that's all
has he really?
Been playing. Literally,
that's a good game.
What could we play? There's no good games out. I mean, the thing that I'd want to play is like Diablo when that comes out.
Boo.
With the homies.
Is it a new Diablo?
Yeah, there's a new Diablo coming out. Diablo 4.
I just learned about why the Diablo market crashed. Because that was the first. Diablo 3 was the first marketplace that I remember that you could spend real money in it and make money off the game.
Yep.
Do you know why it crashed?
Kind of. It's been a while, so.
I just watched the video. It crashed because there was an exploit of the game where people could just start duplicating gold.
Yeah.
So in like a couple hours, people just became legit rich.
Yeah.
Because they just tanked the whole.
Then, yeah.
And then which I didn't even consider how easy that would have been.
See, the issue is that they should have just like worked out all the kinks and then released that market, which was like a cool market in theory.
Yeah.
But then it just becomes a pay-to-win game at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, then again, you're also getting the Blizzard balance and all that, so it's like good. But I mean, technically, you're able to. I mean, World of Warcraft, you make good money off of nowadays. Like a lot of people can. Like people do real money transactions. People do.
Can you buy gold legitimately?
Yes.
Is that allowed?
On World of Warcraft. You buy WoW tokens, which give you time, so like 15 days of playtime. So you can buy that with gold in the game, so that way you can pay for your monthly subscription with gold. But people that want to get gold can pay to buy a token and sell the token for gold.
How do I get the money out of that? How do I get that to my PayPal?
you get into your Blizzard balance. I don't think you can.
You technically can, but people do it on the side, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and then people do like sales runs. It was a big issue going on a lot because these players that want to be so fucking good at the game clearly have to like put in a lot of time.
Yeah.
And it's a game where like, especially like top end raiding guilds, they can't really stream because then, I mean, now it's different. They just stream and don't give a shit because there's just too much money in it to not be doing it. But for a while, they couldn't stream and make money off of it because then you were just essentially giving away your strategy, and like it was just so easy to copy. Like if you watch another stream, that just puts you so much far ahead of the game.
Yeah.
In World of Warcraft, at least. So the way that like these top end guilds were making money was by selling runs. Mm-hmm. But then
you're talking about like dungeon runs, right?
Runs, raids, everything.
Anything to progress into the game.
Yes. Yeah. And they'd sell it to players that didn't have to play their account. Stuff
and
like
essentially the reason why people would buy this is because they didn't want to grind out the time it would take to normally do it on their own.
Because you'd have to grind the gear to be able to do it, but they were so good that they could. I mean, a lot of people are good enough to just bring like shitter players and just sell it. And it was
also raids are things you can't do on your own. You need a group of people.
You need a group of people.
So instead of like becoming friends with people and doing it like a legitimate way, and like you can just buy it.
Yeah,
and that's why people do it.
And people like there's like this run, for example, the most recent raid. A lot of the raids, when you kill the last boss, you get like a mount or something. So a lot of people that buy it are like the gamer dads and stuff that love like the aesthetic of the game.
Yeah.
So they want to collect all the mounts or something like that. So that's really good for sales. But these top end guilds were selling it, and because it's illegal, they would get banned, and like literally it would set them so far behind.
Did you ever hear about EVE Online?
I've heard of it.
So that game is interesting to me because of that game is it's a MMO as well, but it's a lot more grindy. Where to obtain things is way longer.
Yeah. Just like how MMOs used to be.
Yeah. And it's just like I don't know it because that game is just too much for me. Yeah. People like quit their jobs and shit for it, and most people do it for World of Warcraft as well. But it's just like an online space battle where you construct ships. And their guilds, there'll be guilds that have like probably $100,000 worth of like ships in game stuff. Mm-hmm. And there was I think you also take like there's like space stations that you can obtain, and like certain guilds will have certain aspects of the galaxy. And there was like one of my favorite things about this game is every now and then there will be a huge space battle where everybody will like two guilds that are like the biggest will go up against each other because like tension gets high. It's like real war where they'll start fighting over shit.
They're like starting to steal shit from them that they wanted, and it annoys them. Yeah.
So like this is when these in-game like ships, which cost like hundreds of thousands of dollars, will all just get destroyed. And really? Like it's something I love reading about online, and I would never want to, because the amount of time it takes to get to that point in the game is just like it's not worth it to me.
See, and like
the only MMO I've ever played is Toontown.
Toontown
is that shit.
I've played MMOs since I was 5. I started playing
in Fusion Fall.
Fusion Fall.
Do you know that one?
No.
It's the Cartoon Network MMO. When you would watch it, you could have like you could pick like leaders, like Ben 10 could be your leader, or Dexter's Laboratory, and you would get quests and shit like that.
Yeah.
And you'd have like little avatars that sit on your shoulder, like Billy from Billy and Mandy.
I like that when you were a kid, MMOs really snagged your attention.
Like Toontown and Fusion Fall.
But then when you became like an adult,
I'd hate them.
Don't like them.
No.
They don't grab your attention.
But, or RPGs. I don't like Skyrim. I don't like.
Yeah. I never understood that. I like the idea of like seeing progress as like your game goes on and what you put into the game.
Yeah, Minecraft.
The game isn't the same.
No, it's not.
It's really not.
My favorite thing about Minecraft lately is Anthony Fantano has been doing his top 100 songs of the decade, top albums, and people are just like
putting like memes
in the comments like, how is Minecraft soundtrack not in the top 10?
Or how is Minecraft soundtrack every single one of your top 100? Stuff like that. Yeah, that we were looking through the comments and they were so funny. I really liked. Hey, Hey, Melon, why did you rap all the lyrics to Lose Yourself? I mean, I just wanted a top 10 video. Which he didn't do any of that.
It's not, yeah, one of my favorite comments about, which is, we were talking about, Anthony Fantano is he's a serious music
reviewer. He puts a lot of thought into his reviews.
Every review is very thought out, and he does reviews constantly.
And he is a little bit of a memer, like he does his quote unquote memes to start it.
But not enough where his comment section or every comment is a meme, just making fun of his videos and just blatantly lying about things that he does in the video.
Hey, Mel, I don't think that reading off Hitler's Mein Kampf is shit like that.
My favorite comment was on the new Eminem album. Mm-hmm. He said, the quote was, "No, Melon, Eminem brutally murdering his mom on mic does not consider, that's not what a good album would be." They're just so funny. And they'll even write in the albums that he wrote are the worst. Yeah. The worst of the year. Yeah. And just say those are in his top decade list.
And like I said, it's so funny to me that he's created this meme culture, and I don't think that he really wanted to go the route.
Yeah, but it just all these people have I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it happened. It's weird to think that 2010 still doesn't feel that far away from us, but it's 10 years away.
Yeah.
And I remember 2010 at the time, it felt like when it became 2010, it felt like we were kind of in a modern era.
Yeah.
And the internet had been around for a long time at that point. And it's weird to see 10 years later, the Joe Rogan podcast has been going on since 2009 at this point, which is crazy to think.
It's weird to me because it also doesn't feel like we've progressed that far.
And it doesn't, but
in 10 years.
Do you know how the internet has progressed? Back, let's say about 10 years ago, it wasn't as advertiser heavy. There wasn't advertisements everywhere.
There wasn't as much money in it for everybody.
Like everything was more free. Hulu was just a free thing. You could just go on it to watch TV shows.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. That's how Hulu was for a little bit. Every episode of South Park was on just Comedy Central's website.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And that's how I watched every episode of South Park.
That was the shit.
No, everything's behind paywalls now.
Yeah. I mean, the nice part about it is that there's so much more money out there for people through the internet. But also, what I'm saying is, look at it like a 2010 car and look at a 2020 car.
Oh,
it's kind of the same.
But also, Teslas drive themselves now.
But look at a 2000 Cavalier compared to a 2010
sure
Dodge car or whatever. I don't do cars, but it was significantly different. It felt like from that era to this era to that era, but from 2010 to this 2020.
You don't think it seems that different?
It doesn't seem.
But when you think of early 2000s, you think it's way different than now.
Yeah, 20 years for sure.
Maybe 15.
It seemed like the jump from I don't know, dude. Maybe it was 9/11 pushed us forward.
Maybe. There was an era that I remember on YouTube. I think I had seen every viral video.
Yeah.
There was now that
2003.
Every now and then you'll find videos that have 100 million views, and you're I wasn't one of the people who saw that.
Yeah.
Which is just
100%. Mm-hmm. There's millions of those videos now. Literally so many videos. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a bunch of videos with 10 million views too. And that's a lot of fucking people to watch a video. And there's at least 100 videos.
You know what the most viewed? I think I've said this before. You know what the most viewed video is now?
It's a Justin Bieber Despacito. Right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think Justin. I think it's just the straight up Puerto Rican.
Oh, Despacito. Is it? No, I think it's a Justin Bieber.
It could
Despacito.
be. I got no idea.
I think that's from you. You fucked up my computer. You make it pop
say?
Up with notifications from Reddit.
Just log out.
That never happened before you.
Yeah, I don't know. Get over it.
You're the worst.
Mine doesn't do that.
Okay. Whatever, man.
I might get an iPhone.
You've changed. You've changed so much. And tell them why.
Well, why don't you tell them why? Because you're just going to disagree with my reason.
So, David loves his girl so much, and he wants to see her more, and he can't just see her by talking to her on the phone. So he wants to take it one step further, and he wants to FaceTime now. So he's getting an iPhone because of his...
I also could just make her download Duo, which is a fine thing.
Duo doesn't work.
Yeah, it does.
Duo's trash.
It does work fine.
Duo's trash. So since his girlfriend has an iPhone, he wants to get an iPhone.
One of the reasons every girl has an iPhone. It has nothing.
Hey, that's misogynistic of you.
Do you know one girl who doesn't have an iPhone? Name them. Who?
My mother.
Any girl who is like...
hot? Sexy? You don't think my mom's fucking sexy?
Under the age of 30.
Are you trying to call my mom not fucking sexy?
Under the age of 30.
Say my mom's sexy.
She is.
Okay.
Under the age of 30.
Under the age of 30?
And not children. You can't. It's
I can't
impossible.
do children?
No.
Wait. I can do this.
No, you can't.
No, I for sure can.
No. That doesn't exist.
They actually don't exist.
No, it's weird.
Wait. Oh, no.
No.
Beth Bird does.
Yeah, every girl has an iPhone.
Fuck, every girl does have an iPhone, don't they?
Yeah, it's only guys who have like Androids.
Yeah, and Androids are the worst.
They're fine.
They're so bad.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they're really bad.
No.
Name one good thing about Android.
A lot of times they're cheaper. That's another reason why I'm not getting it, is because the new Google Pixel, it's like just as expensive as an iPhone. It looks like an iPhone clone, and it's not as good.
Yeah, and iPhone's the best. Say it.
I don't know if it might be the best on the market right now.
Yeah, by far.
So that's what's making.
And you're getting a new iPhone soon?
Yeah, because my phone is like
it
cracked.
Yeah,
and it every now and then it like jolts out where it thinks I'm like tapping the screen like crazy, but it's just doing it on its own. It's been doing that for like a year now.
Yeah, since season 2.
What makes me nervous about getting the iPhone is just being in the ecosystem, where if I want to get out, then it's just going to be like really difficult to.
We've got 10 more episodes left
until like a full year.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, maybe 9.
I didn't even think about that. You know what made me think about that? Is that jolting issue was an issue back when you were talking with Lisa.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, did that remind you of it?
Yeah, because it used to really piss you off because like when you try to Snapchat her and stuff, and that's how like you would text her.
Oh, I don't even remember saying that.
And you loved it.
And at this point, I've just like accepted it, and I still haven't gotten a new phone.
You just wear it. Well, I mean, you talk because you're not a side piece to your girlfriend now, and you were a side piece to Lisa.
Sure.
You had to talk to her on Snapchat, which makes you a side piece, by the way.
Hey, what are you gonna do?
That's a fact. If you get texted on Snapchat, that means that you're a side piece, which happens to me often. Which means that like I don't even think that it's not a side piece. It's just like
you're not even a side piece. You're just a side.
No, I just think that people.
You're a snack, bro.
Hey, I don't want people knowing that I talk to you.
Oh, in general.
Yeah, in general.
It's not that I want to hide you from my boyfriend. It's I want to hide you from the general
every
public.
person. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know why he was messaging me on Snapchat. And it's like, you can just leave me on red at some point, and then you're just like,
he's just a weirdo.
He just messaged me once, and I don't know why he did that. But then it'll be like every single day you catch just like, yeah. So like I wasn't a side piece, but you were a side piece because that girl wanted your ball sack, but not your penis. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice of her.
Yeah.
With this new iPhone, it's there's the iPhone 11. There's the
You're still torn up about her?
No.
Okay.
There's the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. You know what the differences are?
Do you think that she shaped you into having a better life now?
No.
I think she did.
I don't. Maybe.
Yeah. Without her, I don't think that you're in the relationship that you're in and living your best life, bro. You grew, bro. You grew.
That's a good question. Do I end up dating this girl that I'm dating currently without Lisa?
Probably, yes.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Probably. Eventually, I would have met.
Yeah, still.
So I don't think she.
Yeah, she probably didn't affect your life at all.
Except she gave me a funny story, which I do like.
Yeah.
That's always nice. Yeah. Podcast 82. 82? Wait, that doesn't make sense.
Was it what episode was it? 22?
It's Wedding Crashers, that episode.
We don't list them. We don't like name them on our fucking on our documents. So it's
we just name it on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes, yeah. Which we should just name it on the documents so that way it's easier for us to know because the number means nothing to me.
Blast of the past for me. Thinking about YouTube, Anthony Fantano talked about one of his worst singles of the decade. A Ray William Johnson song made it on there.
Really?
Yeah, Ray William Johnson from Equals 3. He hated that song so much, his song so much from 2010, that he managed to make it all the way into the list.
Who's that guy that I didn't even know he was?
Philip DeFranco is just an H3
so,
or an Equals 3 ripoff.
So you're a big Philip DeFranco fan. You've been
since day one.
You've been listening to him since like what, 2006 probably?
2007, yeah.
2007.
It was weird when I first started listening to him. I felt the way he talked to his audience, it made me feel like, oh no, I'm late to the party. But now I've been listening to him for more than 10 years, where it's like, it's so long.
Yeah, you've been listening to him for a long time.
Yeah.
And one time in high school, you like brought it up, and I knew that like Ray William Johnson was on like YouTuber.
One of the most hated, still probably the most hated YouTuber.
Yeah,
like in the YouTube community,
just not liked. And I knew that they kind of had like this similar format where they covered the YouTube news.
Sorta, yeah.
And they were two of the first people to start doing that, where they did like this YouTube news series like often.
Okay.
So I thought it'd be funny to tell you that like somebody that you rant and rave about often. I go, who is this guy? Just some Equals 3 ripoff?
Yeah.
And that made
I think
laugh.
it made me mad and made me laugh.
Yeah, it made you laugh really hard.
Because that's clearly not a thing.
Not a thing at all. Because Ray William Johnson, he's on Facebook or something now, right?
I don't know what he's doing. What's weird is at the time, YouTube is still like talked down upon in like entertainment. But
Which is so weird to me.
I know. He had like one of the biggest audiences at the time, and he wanted to transition that audience to like a more like a comedy career or like directing or anything that's deemed like legitimate.
Yeah.
And since then he's become nothing. What is he doing?
Yeah.
We have no idea. And now we have this era where David Dobrik was just on the Tonight Show.
That's what was going to lead me into it. Was I just told you this week, I was like, I really think like watching him on Fallon kind of seemed like it's starting to legitimize like YouTube a little bit more. And like the entertainment form of like interneting, because it's really, and it all kind of stemmed from, I watched that, and then I also watched the Norm Macdonald thing that you told me to watch, which was hilarious.
Oh, right. That's actually a very good fucking comparison.
Because he didn't respect those people at all.
Yeah, let's make some context. So David Dobrik was just on the Tonight Show this past week, and
with Jimmy Fallon.
If you just go through his YouTube, the Tonight Show YouTube, you see like each video, some get like 100,000.
Yes.
One of the biggest ones recently was Selena Gomez talking about the Wizards of Waverly Place. It didn't even crack 1 million on the Tonight Show. And then you see David Dobrik, who is like probably the biggest person on the platform right now, besides like Shane Dawson or whatever. And like each thing that he's even in has like 1 million, 2 million plus, and just keeps growing.
So like, and clearly they're going to see that. They're going to be like, oh, this
people who are in network
hit.
television, they're like once you just break numbers, like that translates to everybody.
Like this has to be doing, I'm going to check like for sure, but like it's got to be doing numbers like the Avenger. Jimmy Fallon only does numbers like during the Avengers or like big things like that.
Sure.
And it kind of makes me
think Davidson popped off with Ariana Grande when they were on with that shit. Yeah, random things
will pop off, right? But like his videos with them, it kind of makes me, at some point you have to take it seriously, because Ninja's also popped off too. So like, and at that time when he came on, the very first one, and he had him on I think twice now, he had Ninja on, he kind of took him a little bit more serious the second time, and he kind of warmed up to him, and he was like, oh, I get it now. It kind of seemed like, but like, it's crazy that we went from that YouTube web series.
Yeah, here's the comparison is that back in, I don't know, maybe 2010, Norm Macdonald, who is probably if you consider him a comedian from like traditional media, which is Norm is just one of the greats.
Yeah.
He's been on like talk shows constantly. He was asked to be part of this YouTube live talk show it was like a red carpet event where in between like celebrities, Norm would talk with Cassim G and another girl I don't know.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to like banter, do interviews, and just make it like lighthearted. But the entire time, Norm just disrespects the two co-hosts he has.
So I watched it like very recently.
Yeah.
And it was really funny because the girl that was there, it was like some girl named, like her YouTube channel was Ba or something.
No, that wasn't. That was like that was them making a new YouTube channel. It was just an example. I don't know what.
No, that was actually like
that was her YouTube channel.
That was actually her YouTube channel.
Okay.
Shit, terrible. The girl sucked. Okay. Immediately, she accidentally dropped an F-bomb.
Yeah.
And Norm, I think, picked up on the awkwardness that ensued after that. So he just started
kept swearing.
He was like, "Enough with the fucking jokes. I got a serious fucking question to ask." When they were asking more serious questions, and he'd go, "So, the Lonely Island. Do you ever fucking think that was a terrible name to pick?" Something like that.
So he just derails this whole thing
completely.
Which YouTube is just like really. The comparison is like, let's say 10 years ago. That's just how YouTube was seen. It was just like make fun of it.
Sort of joke. Yeah, and there was this joke that he kept on going back to was because he didn't know anybody there. Clearly, he goes, "And you won't believe it. You just saw," and then he'd like name somebody.
Oh, he would go through a paper that he just read.
Yeah, and say the names completely wrong.
Some of them are big YouTubers at the time. Epic Mealtime, Harley. I think he would like say Rhett and Link, like people who are still kind of popular. And he just kept saying, "All the stars are here."
And he'd just name them off wrong. He'd always cut off Kasim G or the Buck Girl or whatever their fucking name is.
Oh, at one point, Kasim goes, "Tell him to leave, Norm. Tell him to go." Like he was, Kasim was getting really angry.
He got really angry multiple times.
Oh yeah.
And like it was just bad.
I loved that video.
And it was funny because it was a comedy night or whatever. Yeah. So there was other comedians there who clearly respected the fuck out of Norm. Yeah. Like thought that this guy
Andy Samberg was one of them. Yeah. And he like clearly likes Norm Macdonald and Yorman Akiva from Lonely Island. Yeah. They all like Norm.
100%. And then they had Jeff Ross and Hannibal Buress on there.
Oh, I didn't get to the Hannibal Buress part.
Yeah. And Jeff Ross comes up and he goes, "Man, Jeff Ross, he got new hair. You're looking like a fucking hot fucking piece of ass, huh?" Like, something that you clearly they were trying to avoid going into. And then like Kasim was like trying to get in there with a couple of jabs. He's obviously not as quick and witty as these like comedians.
You know what's weird is that Kasim is somebody who is funny.
Yeah.
And like,
but he was just thrown off his toes.
Yeah, he just wasn't on his game.
And then Jeff Ross came in and he was like, "Well, the roast master," and Jeff Ross was like, "Roast me, Jeff Ross," and he was like, "Yeah, I only do that for famous people."
Yeah.
And
that is good.
Hannibal came on and Hannibal was laughing at everything that Norm was saying.
Yeah.
And then
I gotta rewatch that.
And then fucking the bug girl would like try to butt in and like he just like would be serious with her, and then Kasim would like make a joke.
Yeah, like a ha-ha joke.
Yeah, Hannibal wouldn't laugh. But Norm Macdonald, everything that he said to Hannibal, here he goes, "You're just like fucking Eddie Murphy. That's some fucking confidence." He's just like, it was so funny.
Norm essentially saved whatever that terrible show was going to be. And obviously nobody was going to remember that. It was terrible.
Oh, 100%.
But now you just have like YouTubers who are a guest on the Tonight Show, and
they're pretty good.
They do a lot of bits together.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, and it's going to make a lot more, it's going to have a lot more impact than fucking, dude, Leslie Jones, who is on SNL, is one of the most popular people on SNL.
Yeah.
And she was on, and she gets nothing on the Tonight Show. It's crazy how different the world has been in the past 10 years.
Yeah, it's. I do like how it's kind of progressed a little bit. Like I said, I really do hope that now they're just like, oh, I respect them a little bit more. Maybe people other than Jimmy Fallon will have them on as well.
Oh, I mean, Jimmy Kimmel hated the YouTube like gamers. Do you remember that little beef he had?
Did he?
He like did a couple monologues, and what's great, Jimmy Kimmel is somebody who, if people don't like a joke or he like it's bombing, he'll double and triple down and he'll keep insulting people, which is great. Yeah. So like when he found out about like Let's Players, he just did like a short monologue about how like fucking lame that shit is, and. When it went on YouTube, the like to dislike ratio went crazy. Like everybody hated it. YouTube people came out the woodwork to say Jimmy Kimmel's like washed, he's trash. So he did another one where he like shit on people even more. I think he even got Markiplier on the show, and I think he shit on him like on the show.
Really?
Yeah, like it's just he just completely disrespected.
I like Kimmel, but that's so dumb of him.
It got a lot of views. It got a lot of people.
But I don't know. I hope that like Conan's somebody that I think could do really well with like a YouTuber.
Like he has one of the best gaming platforms.
I mean, he had PewDiePie, I think, on right or something.
Maybe I don't remember.
Yeah, he had.
But Clueless Gamer is just a hilarious series.
He had PewDiePie on there, I believe, right?
One of my favorite Clueless Gamer moments is Death Stranding Kojima. He got like a early access like look at that game, which is everybody was very hyped for.
Terrible game though.
Right. But everybody was very hyped because everybody loves Kojima. And he starts his monologue by saying like, because of my influence in the game community, I was managed to get an early access, and the whole crowd laughed. And he's like, "I'm serious, like because I'm such like a big gamer. Like Clueless Gamer gets so many views, 8.3 million on the PewDiePie one.
It's a good one. Clueless Gamer with Bill Hader.
Bill Hader on God of War is my favorite Clueless Gamer. It's so funny. Bill Hader and Conan they're such a funny dynamic.
I like Bill Hader a lot. Bill Hader's I've liked him since SNL days. We've talked about this like a lot. I always feel like you think that it's just like, oh, because we grew up with that era.
Well, that is such a common thing. Is that
people that but it just
people's
feels
favorite
like,
SNL cast is the one they grew up with. That's just consistent. And you always argue that you just genuinely think the one that we grew up with has been the best cast of all time.
Comedically, they're just like so good and talented.
With Bill Hader, Andy Samberg,
Fred Armisen. I think that they're just like, those three are really good. I mean, Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, fucking
Kristen Wiig,
Seth Meyers, fucking like they're all just really successful. I mean, John Mulaney was the writer at the time.
John
right?
Mulaney was.
John Mulaney.
I don't think he was head writer, but he was writing at the time.
And he's one of the biggest comedians.
Who the fuck is in We're the Millers? Main character.
Yeah, fucking starts with it.
He dates Olivia Munn.
Yeah, fucking Jason Sudeikis. Really good. Like,
you know Jason Sudeikis or is it Sudeikis?
Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis.
I can't say names. Right.
How he got an SNL, or like he initially never wanted to be an SNL.
I mean, he's like more like a rom-com actor.
He's an improv guy. Yeah. He did Second City and shit like that.
Okay.
But when coming up, he was like, I hate that show.
Really?
Because he said, he was talking to an agent, right? And he was like, anybody who's ever been on SNL, have they been as funny the first time you saw them on stage in life, in real life, then they and then they went onto SNL and they were funnier? Has that ever happened? And the agent was like, no. And he's like, that's the reason why I don't ever want to be in SNL, is because he just doesn't think comedy translates as well on TV or even on that show compared to like the in person, in live.
So you're saying you're saying that SNL brings out worse parts of people.
He just thinks it's inherently impossible to be as funny as anybody possibly can be on like TV or like on a screen than you can be in a live performance, which
for sure
is, I'd say, true.
Yeah.
How many comedians do you hear say like the live,
like they just want people to go to live shows
because it is like a better interaction than seeing like a stand-up special.
Joey Diaz isn't like my favorite comedian, and I went to go see him live, and I put that above like so many comedy
Did you really cry?
I cried of laughter. Yeah, it was like so good. Like it felt like the jokes just connect with you a little bit more, I think,
when you're in person.
Yeah, it's just so good.
I've never seen a stand-up comedian live.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know. Yeah, that is a good point though, because I mean Eddie Murphy, one of the most successful comedians of all time, is on the show, but I don't really like his skits that much. I get it; they're good, right? But they're
Gumby and
they don't make me like those. Never make me cry of laughter.
Mr. Robinson.
But whereas if Eddie Murphy were to do stand up, make me cry of laughter for sure.
Most likely. How do you think he's gonna be successful? I think it's impossible to be as successful as he was in the 80s. But do you think he's going to come back and it's going to be like crazy?
No. I don't think that I don't know.
Could you imagine if the greatest comeback of all time? If it is like
if he comes back and just drops
and it's like insane.
Straight fire.
Yeah.
It'd be insane. I don't know. At the time he was just like he was 1 in 6 billion because he was the best. Like at the time,
he was the best so quickly and so fast.
There's just so many good people.
Yeah,
granted, I think
there are only a couple greats, and there's always only a couple greats. But there's so many. The average I think is probably higher. But you end up finding a lot of lukewarm comedians that are just like, meh. How many times do you see some just like average stand-up that pops up on YouTube? You click it, and you're like, "Oh, that made me breathe out of my nose a little bit more." Where you go,
yeah, I get that, but like also, I don't know. This might like be bad to say, but like at the time he was just the only person. Now I just think like
Eddie Murphy.
I think
there was less spots.
I think that he stands on the same pedestal as many other people right now. I think that there's a lot of comedians on his similar level.
Oh yeah, that's not bad to say. That's just like true.
Yeah, but I feel like because of his like reputation and him being so big that it's like other people, like other even comedians.
He legitimately is great.
Yes,
right.
He's one of the greatest.
But at the time of his greatness,
he was the only greatest.
There just isn't, because of the way TV worked. When you went on the Tonight Show with Carson?
Yeah,
thank you. I always forget his goddamn name, Johnny Carson. Yeah. When you went on the Tonight Show with Carson, everybody who watched television was watching you in America. They weren't doing anything else.
Literally, like everybody, like if you ask your dad, they're like, yeah, my dad was watching Carson.
If you did,
we're eating dinner. We're also watching Carson right now. We have the tray pulled out. We're fucking eating dinner at the couch.
And if you did well on that show, the next week you were making millions.
You were selling out.
That was just that's just
whereas
what it was.
That's not the case anymore. 100%.
That's just how the Tonight Show.
Chris Stefano was talking about that. He was like, I could have done this and this and this, but why would I do that when
I can just do podcasts?
I just do podcasts and I become so much bigger.
He was talking about money without his shoes on. Yeah. I like that.
He was like talking about how he like literally did a podcast once, and it like the next day he was never sell out. He sold out maybe 3 shows prior to that, or got the bonus. He got the bonus prior to that, which isn't even selling out. He just sold a lot of tickets, and he was like, for months I haven't like not showed up.
What the fuck? I can't think of his name. Comedian who still does the stand-up sets. He was on Rogan. He's no, is it Norm? The fuck is his goddamn name?
Rogan?
No, yeah, he was on Rogan. He's like weird. He's from New Orleans.
Oh, Mark Norman.
Mark Norman. Thank you. I couldn't think of Mark Norman. Mark Norman, I think, is the last guy who does the stand-ups, the 5-minute spots on late night shows.
He has really good 5 minutes.
And does well.
He does really good 5 minutes.
He's the only person that I actually feel like those actually help him.
I don't know many other comedians 5 minutes because I just like I haven't been like to the
every
Comedy
now and
Store
then I watch,
whatever. But like the 5 minutes that Norm puts out, because they're just like tight fives. Like he has
his name's not Norm. What the fuck is it? Mark Norman.
Mark Norman.
I fucked it up. Yeah.
And you get that in my head.
Mark Norman.
But Mark Norman just has like these tight fives that are just so good. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why he does those so well. And he does like everything pretty well, but like his tight fives are really good. But yeah, it's crazy that it's taken a turn to where like doing podcasts and other shit is just so much better. Like I figured out about Chris Stefano from the Something's Burning, I think it was. Yeah. And like after that I was like, this guy's just like quick and witty. And it was just like,
I think the reason why podcasts connect with so much more is
you see an hour of somebody.
It's like you get to see who they really are, and people actually feel like they know the person. Where when you see a Tonight Show, or like they don't really give a shit. It just feels so disconnected. Like
100%. That's
just like a television person, and like they don't even remember their name. But if you go on a podcast for an hour, it's like you almost gained a new friend.
100%.
That's why they connect so much more.
So gain your friend here at the Monologue podcast.
Good night, everybody. We're done.
Good night.
See you later.